You've been wasting your life, not in small doses, not by accident, but day after day, hour after hour, leaking energy into people, habits, and thoughts that give you nothing in return. You scroll, you wait, you hope, you chase after validation from people who would forget your name tomorrow. That is how empires collapse. Not in one great blow, but in the slow rot of wasted time. What Machiavelli taught about self-focus and power: focus on yourself. Stop bleeding out your life for others who have never once bled for you. Every moment you hand away freely is a weapon turned against you. You think you're being kind, loyal, patient, but in truth, you are being consumed. Understand this. Time is blood. Once it leaves you, it never returns. And you've been spilling yours carelessly, as though you have endless reserves. You don't. One day you will wake up with no time left, no energy left, no chance left to become who you were meant to be. Machiavelli wrote that men are ruled either by fear or ambition. If you are not feared, if you are not respected, then you are ignored. And an ignored man is already dead. You know this truth deep down. You felt it every time you were overlooked, dismissed, forgotten. That sting you felt was the world telling you, you are not yet untouchable. Why distractions destroy potential. The world doesn't honor weakness. It exploits it. Look around. The powerful cut through the noise. They shape events. They bend others to their will. And you sit there, bleeding out your power in silence. No more. This is your awakening. This is the moment you decide that from now on, your time is sacred. Your energy is sovereign. Your focus is lethal. You will sharpen yourself into a weapon that cannot be ignored. But first, you must purge the weakness. Cut away the distractions, the fake friends, the endless chasing of things that keep you soft. Stop feeding your time to the void. Your attention is your throne. Guard it, protect it, defend it with your life. You want power, you want respect. Then you must master the one principle Machiavelli understood better than anyone. People serve their own interests first. And if you do not serve your own, you will be used as a stepping stone for theirs. Focus on yourself. Build your mind into a fortress. Build your body into armor. Build your spirit into fire. This is how you become untouchable, when your value cannot be denied. When your silence commands more than another man's shouting, you will finally understand what it means to hold real power. So, let me ask you directly, are you ready to stop wasting your time? Are you ready to claim what is yours? Or will you keep bowing, keep breaking, keep bleeding out until nothing is left? If you're ready, write this in the comments right now. Power is my birthright. Not tomorrow, not someday. Now, declaim it, own it, because this is no longer about potential. This is about destiny. You are either sharpening the blade of your willpower, or you are dulling it every second you hesitate. Focus on yourself. Stop wasting your time. Make the world fear your absence as much as your presence. And remember, your silence, your discipline, your power will echo louder than the noise of the masses ever could. The enemy within, the greatest enemy, is not out there. It is not the man who doubts you. It is not the rival who hates you. It is not the world that resists you. The greatest enemy is within. Weakness, laziness, excuses. These are your assassins. They whisper softly, but they kill mercilessly. You know this voice. The one that tells you, relax, you have time. The one that convinces you one more hour of comfort won't hurt. The one that promises, tomorrow you'll be stronger. Tomorrow you'll begin. That voice is your executioner, and you've been obeying it. You think your downfall will come from someone else's sword. It comes from your own hand. Every time you choose distraction over discipline, every time you feed your vices instead of your vision, every time you betray yourself by wasting the one currency you can never earn, back time. Machiavelli taught that men are ungrateful, fickle, liars, and cowards. Apply that lesson to yourself. When you bow to comfort, you are being ungrateful to your future. When you delay your goals, you are fickle. When you tell yourself, I'll start tomorrow, you are lying. And when you avoid the hard path, you are a coward. You cannot conquer the world until you conquer yourself. The battlefield is not outside. It begins in your own mind. And right now, your inner kingdom is weak. You've allowed distractions to breach your walls. You've allowed weakness to sit on your throne. But hear me, no ruler can tolerate traitors inside his gates. You must declare war on your own weakness. Starve your distractions. Exile your excuses. Execute your laziness. Show no mercy. You will feel pain when you begin. That is the purge. That is the fire burning out the rot. And in that fire, the real you will be forged. Cold, focused, unstoppable. You want to know why most men never rise? Because they cannot kill the enemy within. They spend their lives as slaves to their impulses, their cravings, their boredom. They never master themselves, so they never master anything else. But you are not most men. You're here listening because some part of you knows you are meant for more. Power is not given. Power is taken. And the first throne you must seize is the throne inside your own mind. Look in the mirror, that reflection that is both your rival and your ally. If you let him stay weak, he will destroy you. If you forge him strong, he will carry you to heights you never imagined. The choice is yours. Every morning, every decision, every breath. So I ask you again, are you ready to stop wasting time? Are you ready to silence the inner enemy and take command of your own life? If you are, then prove it. Write this in the comments right now. I rule myself. Say it, declare it. Because until you own yourself, you own nothing. Focus on yourself. Stop wasting your time. The war is already inside. You win there first, and the world outside will fall into line. Power through isolation. Isolation terrifies weak men. They need constant noise, constant company, constant validation. They need to be surrounded because silence exposes them. Silence forces them to face themselves. But you, if you want to be untouchable, you must reverse that instinct. You must make solitude your forge. Understand this. Isolation is not loneliness. Isolation is weaponized focus. It is the moment you step away from the herd and start sharpening your blade in the dark. The herd wastes time in chatter, in gossip, in empty laughter. But the wolf in solitude sharpens his teeth. He grows ruthless, while the sheep grows soft. Machiavelli wrote that a prince must learn to act against mercy, against faith, against humanity when necessary. That begins with cutting away the illusion that you need constant connection. The truth is brutal. You need no one until you have built yourself. Relying on others before you are strong is suicide. So why isolation? Because in solitude, you strip away distraction. You hear the raw voice of your ambition without interference. You are not pulled by weak men's opinions or by society's chains. You are alone with your vision, and vision sharpens in silence. Every empire begins in isolation. Caesar plotted in silence. Napoleon studied in solitude. Machiavelli himself, exiled and forgotten, wrote The Prince in the Shadows. Greatness is born when the world ignores you. That is your advantage. No eyes on you, no noise around you. Just raw time, raw focus, raw power. But here's the catch. Most cannot endure isolation. They mistake it for punishment. They rush back to comfort, to chatter, to being seen. That is why they remain weak. That is why they remain dependent. You must condition yourself differently. Train yourself to see solitude not as exile, but as elevation. The moment you are alone, you are free. Free from manipulation. Free from distraction. Free from the constant pull of weak men's desires. In isolation, you decide what matters. In isolation, you rewire your mind for dominance. Think of it like this. A king does not sit in the marketplace begging for opinions. He sits in his fortress, planning moves no one else can see. That is how he wins before the battle even begins. That is how you will win. Alone in silence, unseen. But understand this. Isolation is not permanent. It is preparation. You retreat not to hide, but to sharpen. When you emerge, you will be different, harder, colder, smarter. And when you step back into the world, people will feel it. They won't understand what changed, but they will sense the weight of your presence. That is the aura isolation creates. Most men waste isolation. They binge, they scroll, they drown themselves in meaningless distraction. Not you. Every hour you spend alone is an hour invested in becoming lethal. Read, write, Plan, train, reflect, build. This is how you separate from mediocrity. Machiavelli's secret to power was understanding perception. To the world, you must appear decisive, confident, unshakable. But the ability to project that comes only from private hours of reflection, discipline, and study. Those hours happen in isolation. So guard your solitude like a king guards his crown. Do not waste it. Do not fear it. Use it. Let isolation turn you into something rare, something dangerous, something untouchable. And right now, I want you to claim it. If you're ready to embrace solitude as power, comment this phrase. Silence is my weapon. Say it. Own it. Let it become your creed. Because here's the truth. When you can stand alone, you can stand against anyone. When you master yourself in silence, no voice, no enemy, no critic can ever master you. Focus on yourself. Stop wasting your time. Isolation is not weakness. It is the crucible where kings are forged. Control and manipulation. Every interaction is a negotiation for power. Power is not in being liked, but in being feared and respected. Control starts with yourself, master, your impulses and emotions. People reveal their weaknesses through their desires, and a true strategist uses this information to manipulate outcomes. Speak less, absorb more, and reveal less. Control perception and project strength. Fear is earned through presence and consequences, not threats. Learn to master yourself, and you will master others. Fear and respect. Fear, respect. These are the twin pillars of power. Every ruler, every leader, every man of influence stands upon them. But most men misunderstand the balance. They think they must be loved. They think they must be liked. That is weakness. A man chasing approval is already enslaved. Machiavelli was clear. It is better to be feared than loved if you cannot be both. Why? Because fear is reliable. Love is fragile. Love fades when people no longer get what they want from you. Fear endures because fear binds men tighter than affection ever could. But let me strip this bare. Pure fear without respect is dangerous. It creates enemies who wait in silence for the day you fall. And pure respect without fear, that is just admiration without loyalty. Men will admire you while still betraying you when the opportunity comes. But when respect and fear are combined, that is when you become untouchable. Respect is built through mastery, through competence, through discipline that others cannot deny. When you enter a room and every man knows you are sharper, stronger, more prepared, that is respect. It is not handed to you. It is forged in solitude, carved through relentless self-mastery. Fear, on the other hand, is built through boundaries, through an aura of consequence. People fear the man who cannot be exploited, the man who does not tolerate disrespect, the man who does not flinch when challenged. Fear is not rage. Fear is not loud threats. Fear is silence backed by steel. When people know crossing you has a price, they hesitate. That hesitation is your weapon. Together, fear and respect form the perfect shield. Respect draws men to follow you. Fear prevents them from betraying you. This is how kings rule. This is how warriors command. This is how you rise above the herd. Think of it. The respected man without fear is often betrayed. The feared man without respect is often conspired against. But the man who holds both, he walks alone through fire, and none dare touch him. How do you build this balance? First, you must master yourself. A man who cannot control his own habits cannot inspire respect. A man who cannot control his own rage cannot inspire fear. The first kingdom is always within. Discipline first, presence second, aura third. Then you set your boundaries. Every glance, every word, every silence, they are measuring your strength. But here's the subtlety. You never need to scream, never need to beg for recognition. Fear and respect are not demanded. They are projected. They radiate from the man who is sovereign. The man who walks into a room and bends the atmosphere without opening his mouth. That is the level you must reach. Remember, you are not here to be liked. You are here to be remembered, to be obeyed, to be respected and feared in equal measure. So I ask you now, do you want to be the man people merely smile at? or the man whose presence they cannot ignore? If you are ready to hold both fear and respect in your hands, then write this in the comments. Respect me or fear me, but never ignore me. Write it, own it, make it your identity. Because the moment you master this balance, you will never again waste time chasing validation. You will not beg for recognition. You will not plead for loyalty. You will command it. Ruthless discipline. Discipline is the foundation of all power. Without it, ambition turns to fantasy, and power becomes chaos. It sharpens your edge and builds consistency. Discipline turns you into someone who cannot be broken. Control your habits, your impulses, and your distractions. Once you do, you will hold the strings of your own life and rise above others who lack discipline. The power of perception. Power is not what you are. It's what others believe you are. Perception controls reality. People follow the image you project, not the truth. Perception is a weapon. You control it through silence, certainty, and action. What you reveal must be deliberate, as the mask you wear shapes how people interact with you. Never lose control of your mask. Cold emotional detachment. Emotions control weak men. To become untouchable, you must master cold emotional detachment. Emotions reveal weakness, making you predictable. Detachment makes you unreadable and impossible to manipulate. You must train yourself to remain calm and unshaken, even when provoked. Detachment is power because it lets you control your actions, emotions, and decisions. Those who can't detach break under pressure, but those who can remain unshaken become unstoppable. The art of strategic patience. Power is not won in haste, but in patience. Strategic patience is the ability to wait for the perfect moment to act. It's about building the right timing and creating tension while others burn out in impatience. Be like the lion, observing and waiting until the right moment. Patience is not weakness. It is cold calculation. Becoming untouchable. To become untouchable, you must stop bending to weakness and distractions. Build yourself into a fortress mind, body, spirit. When you become untouchable, you no longer need to beg for approval or recognition. You stop chasing and start attracting. Focus on mastering yourself, controlling your emotions, and mastering your perception. When you project the right aura, others will fall in line. The world will respect you, fear you, and follow your lead. You are no longer just a man. You are a force to be reckoned with. Unstoppable focus. The most dangerous weapon you have is your focus. In a world full of distractions, mastering focus is like owning a rare treasure. The power of rejection. Rejection is your strongest ally. Every time you face rejection, you have the chance to refine your vision and sharpen your resolve. Don't run from rejection. Brace it, learn from it, and grow stronger. The world will try to push you down, but your resilience is what separates you from the rest. Rejection only matters if you let it defeat you. The man who uses rejection as fuel becomes unstoppable. Self-sufficiency over validation. Never depend on validation from others. The moment you rely on others' approval is the moment you give away your power. Build self-sufficiency, and you'll never need external validation to thrive. When you are confident in your own worth, you stand tall, no matter who is watching. The most powerful people never beg for recognition, they command it. The world respects the person who respects themselves first. Emotional control is power. Emotions are a tool, not a master. The man who can control his emotions is the one who controls his destiny. Fear, anger, and desire should be redirected to serve your greater purpose, not dictate your actions. The ability to remain calm, composed, and deliberate in all situations is the hallmark of true strength. Master your emotions, and you master your world. Strategic detachment. Detachment is your shield. When you are detached, no one can manipulate you, and no situation can break you. Detachment is not about indifference. It's about protecting your energy and maintaining control.